Hi everyone, a very good evening to all of you. I am Bhavani Shankar Parija.
And I'm Soumya Mahapatra.
We are the founders of TYCOON Speaks. Every week we come up uh, on live stream with one of the favorite tycoon from the business domain, where they share about their entrepreneurial journey with us so that each of us can learn from their journey and their experience and get to do something big in life.
So today we'll be having a very interesting entrepreneur, young, dynamic, and very sportive entrepreneur on the forum, and she would be very soon there with us. Um, a lot of people in the town, they know the place that she owns, and it's time to know the person behind that particular the beautiful place. So we will be very soon introducing her.
Yes, soon she will be joining us.
And this evening would be definitely very much energetic and
Full
very
of
much empowering.
full of wisdoms, full of learning.
Absolutely.
Before that, I would ask all our viewers to share this live stream with maximum number of people. So together we can get maximum benefit out of this discussion. So soon our entrepreneur would join us.
Hi Gaurav. I hope everyone who is joining this live stream, please share the link with as many people as possible among your contacts so that they can get the benefit of this empowering, energetic live stream. And let's have more people together so that this discussion becomes more interesting.
Post our interaction with the entrepreneur. You can also pin down your questions in the comment below so that we would ask our guest for today's evening to answer all those questions for you.
So be very careful while listening to the entire interaction so that you can put forth your question and your questions will be answered. And be ready with a pen and a notepad so that you can note down the important things that are there in the discussion.
Yes.
And this discussion will be very much helpful, very much fruitful for everyone who is at least thinking of starting something of their own.
Will be joining us very soon.
No, Ashutosh is not.
Hi, hi Suchi.
Hello, good evening.
Very good
Hello,
evening.
good evening.
If you can put your phone a bit downward.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is this okay?
Good.
Oh,
Yes. So, to all our viewers, we would like to mention today we have a very special guest with us, Ms. SUCHI MISHRA, founder of DOPPIO Coffee Cafe and Studio.
yes,
And
it
I
changed the
think
name.
everyone who is there with us right now, who are going to join this live stream, they must have definitely come across or heard about this cafe in town. This is the most beautiful and special cafe that we have in town. Thank you, Suchi, for bringing in this amazing place to Bhubaneswar, and we are always grateful and indebted.
Yes. And we welcome you to today's live stream.
Thank you. Looking forward for an interesting session.
Absolutely.
So, Suchi, before directly jumping into DOPPIO and other stuff, take us to
Yes.
a memory lane. Tell us about your initial days, your education, schooling, and why you thought of entering into business.
Okay, so first of all, I come from a business family. So, I've grown up seeing my father and uncle, venturing into their respective fields. So, the initial inspiration comes from there. And I remember when I got my campus placement post NIFT. So my father was like, "You're not meant for job. You're meant for business." So I never saw that excitement, in his eyes. When I called him up, when I cracked my campus from Bombay NIFT, I remember. So it was like, I got placed, and this is the company, and I had two offers. So he was like, okay, yeah, let's see. But when I said him that I want to start my own venture and this is how I want to go ahead in my career. So he was more happy in that way. So I think so that is the business inspiration, that I've seen throughout my early age. So I was a very shy kid, but not a very introvert. I had my group of friends, and they're still with me today. So I'm saying I'm very blessed. So they are my major support system, I would say. But a very disciplined kid, and I always knew what I wanted to do. So I was not, afraid of, public speaking or going in front of people and speaking my heart out. So I was ambitious, but I was very clear. So if plan A never worked out, so my plan B was always ready. So I think that helped me a lot in my early
So, do
days to.
that being born to a business family or being born to these progressive parents have made you this clear, has brought you this clarity in your mind, or do you think every other person out there can achieve this clarity?
I think being born in a business family, or the family that I come from, so even what my father and uncle they've achieved, so it has never been an overnight success. So whatever has come their way, it has always been a process. So it has taken them years of hard work and consistency for them to reach where they are today. So that has made me very grounded, I would say, and the sense of gratitude that I have in me. So I'm very grateful for whatever I have, or whatever has come my way, or whatever I see, or the people who are in my life. So that has helped me throughout the journey. So wherever I am today, and whatever I'm doing, so it has come from there.
So, why did you think in the first place to start a cafe? Out of not many business ideas out there, I believe you must have heard, lots of brainstorming or would have come up with number of business ideas. But what motivated you or inspired you to start a cafe?
See, like that, the first time we met, and we covered my story. So I'd mentioned, I'd been to a CCD when I was in eighth standard. So persistently, I was telling my father, take me to a CCD. And the moment I visited, I was really, taken back by the concept of a cafe. So it's not a restaurant; it is somewhere you can just come, just chill, just be with your friends, where your focus is not the food. You're just sitting there. So that inspired me, somewhere I saw myself running a cafe. So that is how the entire idea of, starting a cafe of my own that came into my mind. And during my school days, so there was a CCD near my house. So, and visiting CCD in those days, I'm talking about 2009, was a big deal for us because CCDs were expensive. So, you have to sit with your friends and then contribute and then decide which is the cheapest item in the menu that you can take. So, so we would sit once in a while, or once in every 2 months, we would go to a CCD just to, get that fancy coffee shop feeling. And we would sit there and discuss that what if, we start a cafe and all of our friends can come together and, have a good time, chit chat, just talk about life updates. So that somehow was there with me always, back of my mind when I was thinking or planning about starting a cafe. So this came very early in me, that no matter what I study or what my career graph is going to be, but at the end of the day I will open a cafe. So I always knew I wanted to do this. But then when I went out for my masters, so I did a lot of solo traveling. So I went to a lot of cafes there, a lot of ideas that came my way, what should be the theme of my cafe and what kind of vibes I want to, inculcate in my cafe, or what is the future, or how do I want to see this venture grow up. So with all of this came the idea of opening a cafe, and finally one day I did.
Okay, that's good. So now in this town, if we talk about, so
Yeah.
you must have seen number of cafes have been coming up every in every month, in every week, you can say. Like people come up with different cafes, different restaurants, and it is very lucrative to see, to view, right? So
Yeah.
these people have a conception of getting into restaurants because it's a bit easy if you invest some amount of funds that you have and you take a place, you have your staff and the show goes on, right? But
Yeah.
like when someone is actually running a cafe, a really good cafe in town, do you think it is really that easy, or you have number of drawbacks and struggles?
Yeah, if you could,
So if you can take us to the struggles, the real struggles that you have gone through in keeping this cafe running, then I would think that that would be really helpful.
yeah, initial
Honestly,
days or
it's not easy. Just sitting out there and saying, you just invest some money and, in good infrastructure, and then your cafe is a hit. It's not easy. What happens is, when you're running a business, especially when it involves a lot of people management, it does take a lot of toll on your mental health. It drains you out emotionally, initially when you're not prepared for it also. So it's not easy. Just to be sitting there and, being judgment about the food and, what you are doing, it's not easy. So when I started, so I think I had one thing very clear in my mind: I'm not here to compete. I'll just be in my space. I'll grow in my space. So what others are doing or what others want to do, that is not my area, or that is not my lookout. And there are several other cafes in the city which I like going even today. So when I visit them, I'm not visiting as a competitor. I visit them because I like them, because I like going to those places, because I like exploring. So I go as a consumer or somebody who's fan of that particular cafe or restaurant. So I am not here to compete. I am my competition. So I just want to be better than yesterday, and I want to grow. But it's definitely not easy, because food and beverage, they're very personalized things. So everybody's taste bud is different. What you might like, I might not like. So being critical about what is being served every day, that's a challenge, because every day you have to prove people, oh, okay, so we're trying to build ourselves, or we are trying to perform better, or we are low on staff, because people who are there, from a customer point of view, they are never going to understand that. And I get it. When we visit a place, we visit a eatery, if our service is late, we are never going to understand if they are understaffed or if they have any issues. We are paying for the product and we want it on our table with the best kind of service. So in Doppio, I have gone from seeing reviews, worst cafe in town to best cafe in town. So that has been my graph.
and we remember, when you started way back in 2020, it was just like after 21 days of opening your cafe, lockdown happened
COVID
in the.
happened. Yes, lockdown happened. But initial days were emotionally very draining. So I would, be there in the kitchen and trying to manage people, trying to manage the floor, trying to manage the kitchen and the finances and raw materials. And then I would come back and check the Google reviews. When I would see a good Google review, I would be very happy about it. But when I see a negative, I would really take it into heart. And that did disturb me emotionally. I would cry out in front of my friends or my husband, then boyfriend. So this is happening and what to do. And he would always explain me, don't take it to the heart. Try to, take good things from it. So 3 years, of my journey with Doppio. So now also I check reviews. When somebody is giving me a good review, I would be very thankful. But when I see a negative review, I try to process the positivity out of it. How can I improve, rather than emotionally crying about it, or getting myself drained, or just sitting in a room and crying. I don't do that anymore. I used to. I don't do that anymore. Rather, I pick up the positive points. How can I improve? So I'm more about improving things, rather than just emotionally being affected by it.
Yeah,
So
that
it's
that's
not easy.
that's a great insight from our entrepreneurs. So every aspiring entrepreneurs, those who are watching us live, we get feedback from everyone around. If we are starting any form of business, so positive feedbacks definitely empower us. They make us happy. But you shouldn't cry over all those negative feedback. Rather,
Yes.
you should take them as a source of inspiration or as a source of learning and work on yourself. And
Yes. Well, I
definitely
think
being
it's a process that's never going to come overnight. It's a
Then
process. It's like,
even you are growing as an individual.
see, you talked about, so many other cafes opening in town every week, and how we place ourselves. So I think personalization is my USP. Me being there, uh, giving that personalized touch in the cafe, I think that might be, keeping Doppio a little bit separate from the crowd, because when I stay there, I see what are the problems. I've had people, who've come and interacted with me. We really like the vibe here, or we really like the platters that are served here. I've made so many friends. I mean, you guys are live example of, I've made so many close friends in Doppio. So I think the personalized feeling or the vibe that that comes with me, separates Doppio from a lot other places. But it has not been easy, honestly, and it is still work in process. We are
so how do
every
you
day.
see, the transition when you started your business and down the line after 3 years? How has been the transition, in the business?
So when I started, I never started with the money aspect of running a business. I was uh, I was not really focusing on the revenue generation part or the finances part. But now I understand, revenue, finances, managing your sales, and all of that. How important that is when you are, running a business. So I think that has been my important transition in the past 3 years. It has made me more confident. So now I know, what are the best things that we serve in a cafe, uh, what things are up to the mark, and what needs improvement. So I think I'm more confident right now, in running my business or setup. So I know in and out everything about my cafe when I talk about it, rather than just talking about it. I mean, I know what is the actual fact. So yeah, so that has been the transition. I'm more confident in the way I run my cafe. I'm more confident than what I used to be 3 years back.
So, like it's been 3+ years of Doppio being
Yes.
sustained in the market, being existed in the market, and that's a pretty good period of time, right? So, what is that one factor that you think has made Doppio consistent and made Doppio growing in this
Uh,
3 years?
First thing is being yourself present on the field every day to look after things. I think that is very important, and that has a positive impact on your venture, because you are there for your venture, you are available, and you're just doing the things that is required to do in order to run your business. So I think that is very important, and I am not eyeing an overnight success. I want a sustainable business. So when you are sustaining, that somehow means you are successful in your field. So I'm not looking at an overnight model. So I am more interested in the sustenance part of it, and every day doing something or other to keep your business intact, or to keep yourself in the game, so that people come appreciate and visit you. So that these things play, major role. They are like key factors which are, very, very important.
Like talking about, we have been talking about DOPPIO for
Yeah.
quite a long time. To all our viewers who are watching us, can you tell them what exactly they can find in DOPPIO? And what are those things which they're not going to find anywhere else?
Okay, the first thing is good ambience that people know us for. Apparently, every Tinder picture has DOPPIO. So I think that is a milestone for us. Every Instagram or Facebook profile has a picture of DOPPIO, so that is a milestone. Good platters. So we do provide good wholesome platters, veg and non-veg both. So that is unmatched. And I think good,
I'm being advocate for that.
Yes, even I do.
thank you. And I think good varieties of coffee. So we are unique in that way. And most importantly is our little studio where we have collaborated with a lot of local businesses who are selling books and bookmarks and t-shirts and, rubber bands and, just good stuff. Brands who are very good at what they are doing. So I think that is the most special part of DOPPIO, our mini studio, that people should come and check it out.
To all the viewers who are watching us, we would strongly recommend to go visit DOPPIO, have a great experience of your life, enjoy their platters.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, those who have visited DOPPIO at the very initial stages, DOPPIO is just not serving veg. It has number of non-veg options. Please don't
Thank you.
hesitate to visit because number of people I have come across, they have this conception of this place is only serving veg. It's not like that. They have come up with number of delicious reasons of veg and non-veg. You visit and you can have your experience.
Yeah, we serve veg, non-veg, and we do have few vegan options as well. If somebody is, lactose intolerant, we do serve some vegan beverages. So people can come and check it out and just have a good time.
And one of the best part, or I would say one experience I had, you have got amazing staff. Your employees are very friendly with the customers. But the kind of industry you are into, the attrition rate is very high. People leave
Yeah.
jobs, have a scarcity of. But when you selected your employees for your cafe, how did that entire process went on? Initially,
Again, the relationship that I built with my employees, it is not one day task. So it is even that is work in progress. So every day you have to talk to them about their issues and their problems, and I make sure I have a word with them about their comfort area in the cafe, or what they like or what they don't like, because for me, work ethics are very important. I'm a very ethical person, by the way, but be it work or personal life, relationships, friendships, ethics are very important to me. I maintain my work ethics, so I would not want my staff to be overburdened or overworked for no reason. If there's a need, all of us are working, then it's okay, no problem. But unnecessarily, I would not want to burden them with lots of work so that next day they're falling sick and not showing up on work. So ethics are very important. So every day I have a talking session with my employees, and if I have, and it's majorly always one-on-one discussions. So when it is about the venture, so we have a meeting where we are talking about, where we need to improve or what we did good, or, why has this bad review come in, or how is the service. But when it is about, knowing their personal problems, so I make sure that, I have a one-on-one discussion with them every day, so that they should also have this feeling or confidence that, somebody is there to listen to them or to hear out their problems, And I always say them, there's nothing that I can't solve, and I'll try my best, no matter how difficult the problem is. I'll try my best to extend support. So I'm very happy that 80% of my employees who who were working with me 3 years back are still there with me. They trust me. They believe that if I'm there, I'll be able to solve the issues. So, so I think that's why I said this industry needs a lot of people management skills. You need to manage your staff. You need to talk to them. You need to educate them. You need to explain them that sometimes they'll lose out patience, and they'll like muchakri chhadi debi and all of that. But then you have to talk to them, console them, and counsel them. So these are very small factors, but I think very important when you are running a venture that is comprised of staff, that is especially in the service related industry.
And it reminds me of one of the anecdote being shared by Richard Branson. Take care of your employees, and your employees will take care of your customers. And I believe that holds really true. If we do share a good bond with our employees, treat them like a family, they're definitely going to treat the customers.
And I think it's equally important to encourage them and also congratulate them when they're performing really well. When you pat your hands on their back, and you just tell them that the coffee is really good, or you really did well today, or when they are achieving their sales target, when you say them good job. So I think that really brings a difference, and they're more motivated to work better. So they give you good results. And when you work with them as a team and not showing your ownership on them, but when you work as a team, so I think that brings in more impact and good results for your venture.
Being in business, anyone being in business, I think you would agree to this, that marketing is always the backbone that supports every business, right?
Yes.
So what are the different strategies or different plans that you are implementing in your business to have it run smoothly and perform well?
How did you market your DOPPIO during the initial phase and currently also?
Apart from the amazing vibe and the beautiful photographic corners it holds, what are the strategies that you apply?
Initially, what happened, we never used any professional marketing techniques, because the place was one of its kind. When it came to aesthetics and interiors, and the way it was made. So it drew people towards it. So a lot of people came in, click pictures or short videos, and pre-wedding shoots and all of that happened. So that was a passive marketing for us. When you see the pictures of your cafe on every other photography page or on Instagram. So initially that helped. So I was not very much working on this aspect until recently. And so I would actually, publicly thank my husband for this. So I get all my marketing ideas from him. The way, he is passionate about his venture, when it comes to marketing, or the way he does it has helped him, increase the sales. So I think, that's where I draw my inspiration, and I'm trying to inculcate the same thing in DOPPIO, where we are updating every day, where we are putting out stories and coming up with different ideas how we can, utilize social media platforms, especially Instagram, maximum, where we can, just put what DOPPIO is, put out to people what DOPPIO is. It is more than just beautiful aesthetics or good ambience. So I think right now, currently, we are in that active marketing phase where we are using social media to its maximum optimum.
Yes, to all those aspiring entrepreneurs, use social media to the fullest, where you can talk about your product or take your brand to the next level, create awareness about it, make people know more about your brand. So,
Yeah,
Suchi,
I think that's important.
yeah, that's need of the art. So, Suchi, I would like to ask you something. Whatever
Yeah,
we do on a regular basis, there is always a motivation behind it. That
yeah,
one thing that motivates us every day to do something. So,
yes.
what motivates you every day to come down to your cafe? And second question would be, what's the one thing you enjoy a lot about your organization or being in?
See, the first thing is when people ask me that, are you there here always? I was like, yes, this is my workplace. And when you have such a beautiful workplace, you might as well, just be there and, enjoy the view. So I think that makes me come here. So it's like, there's a sense of, I would say, I don't know, you feel good about being there. You just feel good when I'm there. I just feel good about life, about everything. So I think that is my major motivation, coming down there. And uh, it's like this place belongs to me. If not here, then where should I be? So I just want to be there. I just want to see my place growing, interacting with people, and uh, like I mentioned earlier, when people come up to me and say, we really get, peaceful vibes here. It's really, very nicely done. So I think that motivates me, to come down here every day. And most importantly, I think my favorite category of customers who come in the cafe are people who come by themselves. They just come or read a book or have a cup of coffee, or simply they're, just working on their own stuff. Because it takes a lot of courage to be, going to a public place all by yourself and spending time with yourself. So, and not many people, are willing to take that step. So, when I come in, and every day I see people who come in just to spend some time with themselves or read a book. I think that is my major motivation, because, you get to meet so many people, you get to make so many friends, you get to, see so many types of celebrations, people who have celebrated their birthdays or anniversaries, and a lot of people who met for marriage setups, and they've got married. So I think these small little things are very important. So that is why I would want to be here every day of my life, and see and just enjoy these little moments. So these are my small but very big impactful milestones, and that's why I love coming here. I mean, why wouldn't I?
That's great. A great experience what you shared with all our viewers. So all our viewers, I would mention we are just left with two more questions to end this interaction. Meanwhile, if you have any questions in your mind which you want to ask our entrepreneur, you can pin down those questions in the comment, and our entrepreneur will be answering them for you.
Yeah.
So this is one of the most important questions that I will be having for you in this session. So when like you have been in this entrepreneurial journey and you have completed almost 3 years in this particular journey, growing and learning. So this question would be very appropriate for you. That what it takes for an entrepreneur to be successful.
Uh, Success, like I said, is a very long term thing. I mean, one day you are making good sales, and other day you're not, you cannot term yourself as successful. And success for everybody has a different definition. So for me, I don't know, I'm successful or not, because I've just started. I'm very new. I still have a long way to go. But if I am, sustaining myself in the market in the long run, so I have a dream, when, your kids or my friends' kids or my kids, when they grow up, they should be able to say that this is the oldest cafe in the town. So I think when I reach that milestone, I would term myself successful that day. So I am looking at a more sustainable model. If I sustain in the market, then probably I'm successful.
Yeah, that's a long-term plan, like what you have for your cafe.
I have never seen anyone answering or thinking such long plans.
No, but that is what it is. I mean, that is my vision for DOPPIO. So, the oldest existing cafe in town. So, if I manage to pull that off, that day, I'll tell you, okay, look, guys, I'm successful. So, yeah.
Okay. One last question to ask you. Nowadays you see there's an entrepreneurial wave that's happening around in the country. Everyone wants to become an entrepreneur or do something big in life. So you being into business in 3 years of your journey, with all the experiences you had in your life through business, through your personal experiences, what advice you would like to give to all those aspiring entrepreneurs?
The thing or the idea that I live by is just be there for your venture no matter what. So I tell my employees that even if it is 6 in the morning or 12 at night, I'm available to take up any call that is related to DOPPIO. So, and I make sure I am there on the floor, managing things by myself so that I get to learn or I get to know the in and out of my venture. So that my only advice would be just be there for your venture and, watch it flourish and take care of it, when things go down. So basically just be the safe net for your venture and, be ready to bounce back, when life pulls you down. So, yeah.
That's a very powerful message. And I believe everyone, if they would, go by the message what you have delivered, it will definitely bring them success in their life as well. So, to all our viewers, we would like to mention this video is going to be there on our Instagram page. Post this live interaction also. If you have joined a bit late or if you have missed a part, you can access them at any point of time. And of course, you can also share it with your friends and family also.
So I think there is no question from the audience. I think the interview was very much crystal clear. It was too much to the point, and it was the answers were like quite impressive and expressive. So I think questions are not expected.
And to all our viewers, I would like to mention DOPPIO has been our favorite place. Every time we think of something, for talk about brainstorming, talk about any social gathering, so we prefer DOPPIO. So I would say come down to DOPPIO, have a great experience, and until then, Suchi, we wish you all the best.
Thank
so that
you.
Next time when we interact, you have so much more things to share with our audience.
Absolutely.
And if you could say something about TYCOON Speaks to all our viewers who are watching us.
I think I was one of the initial members of TYCOON Speaks. So our association goes long back, and DOPPIO is happy and proud to be a small part of your journey. And since from day one, so all the best to you guys also. Keep doing the good work, and DOPPIO is always there to host you.
Thank you so much. So here we end today's interaction, powerful interaction I would mention. Favorite entrepreneur, SUCHI MISHRA, founder of DOPPIO Cafe and Studio. So I am Bhavani Shankar Parija.
And I'm Soumya Mapatra.
We are signing off.
Until next time, wait till we have a new and amazing entrepreneur on.
Thank you all our viewers for being patient and listening to the entire interaction.
Have an amazing evening. Have an amazing Eid, and see you next week.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.